everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of G&A Podcast. I am your favorite blonde kid pirate, Dooby-Doo.
And I am the number one recruit of the Hestia Familia, Sobroni.
And we are here for yet another episode of good anime goodness. This week will be an extra long episode because we are covering one more anime. And let me tell you, this whole week was full of goodness.
This week was literally probably the best week I've seen in a long time.
I was racking my head trying to figure out what's going to be my episode of the week. And I think you guys will all be very surprised in my selection.
And you won't be with mine. So let's get right into it and talk about Vinland Saga episode 6. Also a very fine episode this week. We got a bit of a time skip. I don't know. It was like a more of a montage of action. We saw a bit of Thorfinn's growth as a pirate and his new trials and tribulations as part of the Floki gang.
Floki gang. Yeah, so as we're learning, basically the war between the Vikings / the Danish and the English, like it's happening more. You know, like I think it's basically turned into full-out war at this point.
Right.
And I guess so that the Danish don't lose their forces, they're hiring these Vikings who are not officially part of
the Danish army. They're just there to
they're pirates.
Yeah, it's like ransack villages and like soften up the landing forces and stuff, which is kind of interesting because I like from a historical context. I guess that makes a lot of sense. Like I love the way that this fits so well into history. Like you would hire pirates to like launch assaults on the beaches. That way, when your actual army shows up, there's like no one there to defend it, and you can just invade. So I like that it's so well situated, like historically speaking.
Also, I definitely like the scene when Thorfinn finally gets his first kill. When they're getting ambushed by the English.
The really shitty soldier who can't fucking swing a sword at a kid because he keeps missing.
Yeah, he's like actually terrible. I'm like, you died to a child. you actually deserve to die.
Everyone Thorfinn kills, I'm just like, you deserve to die. You really suck
I wouldn't
at
say
fighting.
Well, at the start, when he's a child and he's killing them.
Well, before he turns into Arya Stark and fucking
basically
flips over White Walkers and shit.
Exactly. That's basically he becomes the male anime version of Arya Stark during the montage and / time skip, and then he says, "I'm killing everyone." Yeah. The whole scene where he's being taken care of in the English village by the woman and her daughter. It really shows that, like, oh yeah, he's still a kid, and everyone perceives him that way until they don't.
I thought they were gonna be playing a more prominent role in that. Like I thought he was gonna be there for longer than he was. You know what I mean? Like when they introduced the woman and her daughter, I thought there was gonna be like, oh, this could be like a 2-episode thing where they're together and he's gonna learn, and then they're gonna get attacked. But no, that was just like a 1.5 episode little side story kind of thing to flesh out Thorfinn. I feel really bad for the grandmother or the mother, but I feel really bad for the girl. Like I hope she's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, she's totally getting raped.
She's not getting raped. She got away. I'm pretty sure she ran away. She wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna stick around and wait for the landing invasion.
Oh, you mean like the grandma?
The grandma
like
was the mom was being stupid. The mom was like, oh my god, what's going on?
Like the look in her eyes that she saw Thorfinn like kill all the soldiers.
And I was like waiting when they showed her on the beach and she's like watching Thorfinn and Thorfinn's like looking at her and you see all these Vikings running past her. Yeah. I was waiting for one of them to just like shank her.
Yeah, literally like the Red Wedding. Just
or like trample her or something like get out of my way, old woman.
But in a weird way, she just disappears into the crowd. I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
It was symbolic of something.
she's actually one of she's an assassin just like
she
Arya.
was a ghost this whole time.
she takes off her face.
Imagine that she was never really there. There was no old woman and there was no girl. This was like an M. Night Shyamalan level twist. It was all in Thorfinn's head, like imagining his old mom and his sister.
Then how did he get away with?
Oh fucking no! Actually, M. Night Shyamalan.
It was the trees.
So yeah, no, this was a great setup episode, and I love seeing his growth as a good character. Like he's quickly becoming an actual good character to me.
Yes, plenty of blood splatter and carnage and people dying everywhere, which is literally what I asked for when I watched this anime. So I'm like, oh, it's a good job. You did all that too.
Yeah. I also like that he's part of the crew, but he's not really part of the crew. Like he's working with them, but he's still like distant from them, and he's still like doesn't chill with them. He like sits away from them and stuff.
Yeah, like I think when he's being sent to scout, I think they're like, go scout or else we're going to kill you.
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure that's what he meant with the
neck sign. Yeah.
So. Hopefully we get like another extended time skip because I kind of just want to see him be older now. Like I want him to see him. It's cool to see him fighting as a kid, but I don't know. I just want to see him fight like an adult.
Yeah, me too.
Like a brutal, actual, real fighting style, not him being Yoda.
Crossing the force, you must.
So let us move on to the powder keg that is Danmachi.
Oh boy, here we go.
Episode 5.
So let me just talk about what I hated about it.
Drew's gonna talk about how he hates Danmachi.
That is a joke. I think I jokingly pointed out something when
yeah, you were being super nitpicky. Like, why is he level 3 now? Why are you leveled up so fast?
Oh yeah, like that. That's just me being stupid. It's not like a huge point of contention for me. Like. At all. It was just like, I find it interesting that took him one whole season to get to level 2, and then he reaches level 3 within like 4 or 5 episodes.
It was a big fight.
Between whom?
Him and the other dude he beat was level 3 in the war game.
That fight itself took like 10 seconds.
Okay, but he beat level 3. Listen, if you beat someone who's a higher level, then you're gonna get some experience points from that.
And I say, okay, cool, don't care. I just think that's a little, not the most consistent thing, but literally outside of that, everything else about this episode was very fun.
I loved this episode. I jokingly said episode of the week, but if it was any other week, this might have been my episode of the week because I love when it goes into slice of life comedy territory. Because Hestia was great this episode. And I like seeing all the new recruits kind of just make their way into the house, you know?
Yeah.
And be part of the family. Especially Mikoto. Mikoto was great too this episode with her love for the bath.
I love that scene where I feel like Daphne and Cassandra are like becoming just really prominent characters out of nowhere. They had their little fun.
And they're definitely gonna come back and join the family.
Absolutely, like they were like, when they're at the gate and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And she's like, "Isn't it obvious what we're doing?" And he's like, "No,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?"
Yeah, no, I like them, and thanks for whoever pointed out, the few people who pointed out in the comments last time that it was the whole thing behind that is that she's based on a famous mythical creature or person from Greek mythology who has visions and prophecies, but no one believes her. So now that makes a lot more sense, at least within the context of the show's logic.
Definitely. Yeah, like Lily was really funny this episode. Like when she was like scouting out people that she didn't want to be in the familia. It was of course all the girls. And then she's like, and then the second girl, that was my favorite one because she's like, oh look, girl, she's so cute, everyone's falling over her, and she already has my personality type. No way.
For some reason, I felt like it was a little contrived. The whole like, oh, Mikoto finds the I owe 2 million Valley debt from Hestia, and is like, let me announce this to everyone in the crowd that we're 2 million in debt.
Why would you? That makes no sense to literally loudly say that when there are a bunch of prospects outside.
Yes, but it was funny enough as it was, so I'll let it slide. I'll let the illogicalness of it slide.
Yeah, it's just like the logicalness of Bell being ranked 3 so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they subvert the typical San.
Oh, that was my favorite part. Yeah, with Hestia is like actually trying to peek in on Bell and Bell.
Yeah, no, just Bell. Just Bell. At first, she's like listening, trying to listen to them. Like, oh, what are they saying? And then you hear Bell being like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? Stop!"
And this is why Hestia is my favorite goddess. Which she made everyone in the crowd say as well, so...
Yeah.
Now we all know Hestia is everyone's favorite goddess. It's canon. It's part of the canon of the show.
Okay. Yeah. And that speech at the end was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was, like, really sweet, and it brought, like, a really funny moment where Hestia just straight up just trying... like, to be, not so much, like, peek at Bella at this point, just be like, oh my God, I heard you, I love you, I want to, like, hug you right now, and then all the girls are like, no, you can't cross over into his bath,
and you pointed it out, but I did love the, in the beginning of the episode, when they're partying, they have, like, wine and stuff, and at the end of the episode, after they have the whole debt issue, they all have water in their wine glasses, so that was, like, a cute little... catch.
Yeah. And then they very briefly allude to like the setup for the next arc, which is literally just someone from Makoto's old guild whispering something to her, and she's like, and then they pan to like a very naked, lewd shot of a fox girl.
I'm all for it. That's the best way to set up an arc, in my opinion. Just show me a naked cat girl or fox girl, and I'm in. I'm invested.
Okay. Well.
Although I did hear that the next arc was going to be really good, so hopefully, fingers crossed.
Maybe better than the...
Anyway, it was a great episode. Let's move on.
To Fire Force episode 5.
Yes.
This episode was I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of just here for, like, Company 8 breaking into Company 5 and then them shooting the place up.
Yeah, the glasses dude was just fucking on fire.
Yeah, he kind of just really stole the show for, like, everybody.
He went from being like, why is this guy even here, to being like, okay, this is the most OP character in this team
like,
right now.
Badass. Like,
he just controls bullets and shit. I love how they stretched the... Because one of my issues was going to be, like, if everyone is just fire, one of my issues was going to be, if everyone's just fire, then it's going to get boring, you know, because everyone's going to have the same powers. But if this guy has the ability to change direction of bullets and shit, like, really stretching the definition of what you can do with fire powers.
I think it's really cool how, you know, they explained how he uses how he manipulates the gunfire, and then he can even manipulate the sparks. Like, first of all, that's like, you literally need to know like the physics of like guns to even like get like to predict such a thing. Because it's not like he saw where the guns were. Like, he had to know the exact moment like the bullets
was gonna
hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then produce the spark, which would needed to make an extra like mini explosion for like more. For like that extra force to ricochet and whatnot.
I feel like they're gonna do the Avatar thing where it's gonna eventually be like, oh, she can control lightning because lightning is fire. That's the same thing.
Yeah, I guess you're going in that
Azula
direction.
route or something.
I mean, they already did that. I still don't know how Arthur's sword works.
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of like plasma fire or something.
I'm like plasma from
the flames. Flame plasma.
Sure. Like, I guess it's just like a very, very high heat.
Yeah, sure.
High heat.
However
sword.
That works out.
Exactly. Like, literally.
Speaking of Arthur, I think he had the best fights. He's like quickly becoming my favorite character just because he's literally just stupid. he's not even like just playfully stupid. He's just stupid.
Yeah.
His whole like, why is my power not working? I'm getting my ass kicked. It's not working. Oh wait, I'm right-handed. I have the sword in my left hand. Whoop, kills him.
And I'm just like, are you kidding? I don't know. It's not that I don't hate.
See, but I like that because it's Soul Eater did the same thing where it's characters are just so stupid. Like it's funny stupid. You interrupt the action with good amounts of comedy by having a really dumb situation.
I mean, the only thing
Fairy Tail does it too.
Like, no, I feel like for like the longest time, this was just in that fight specifically. It seemed a little. I'm not saying that part wasn't funny. It was just like leading up to it. It was not fun. Like all because for a second, all you just saw him was getting smacked around by like the fire dude. He's just like, oh, I'm getting weaker for some reason. Attack, smack. I'm still weak for some reason. Attack, smack. Like he did this like 3 or 4 times.
Which I liked it because I was like, well, what's the problem? Why is he weaker? And I was like actually thinking way too seriously about the situation and being like, oh, well, he got hit with something.
I don't know. I'm just saying that wasn't incredibly like fun to watch. Like I'm like, okay, you could just go back to Glasses Dude shooting people. Like
you just wanted to see more of the Glasses guy shooting people.
Yes, because it was more entertaining than him. Like he could have been smacked down once and then cut. All the fighting with Glasses comes back. He's like, why am I weaker? Oh, I'm holding my right hand.
I would say at least twice.
And then
knocked down. At least twice.
Okay, they could have knocked him down once. Pen back to Glasses.
Listen,
fighting.
Glasses guy got way more screen time than anyone else this episode. Anyway. He did not need more screen time. That was not the issue with this episode. If anything, amazing. Maki needed more screen time.
Yeah,
to fight with.
But they didn't get. They skipped
her whole fight.
Yeah, with the girls 3, whatever.
Yeah,
even though
math girls.
Yeah, even though there was like 10 of them.
See, but that's the other thing. Like, there's just levels of absurd, stupid comedy within the fight, which makes it refreshing. Also, I'm liking Hime, the villain of this arc, I guess. Hibana, yeah, Himebane. She's I don't know. It's just like crazy women. She reminds me of Medusa from Soul Eater.
Yeah, I can see that. She was literally just like, I don't know what she was doing to the Inferno.
Stabbing him to death?
Yeah, just stabbing him. She was like, this is experimentation. I'm like, it looks like you're just stabbing him to him. She's like, stop talking, Gravel. Stop talking. Ah! And then you see like her shadow like laughing.
Yeah.
like it's like they make it almost comical.
Even the parts where she's like talking with the nun and she just, for the sister, and she like engulfs her clothes in flames and like strangles her on the floor.
Yeah, for some reason she's like, even though you're coming at me of good faith, I'm going to use you as bait because I'm a crazy bitch. Like,
well, I love crazy evil women. They're like, I think that's my favorite archetype of villain. So if you're a crazy evil yandere whatever girl, then you're probably going to be a top tier villain for me. And this woman is clearly loony and strong. So
yeah, I also like her. I like her. I like how the way she looks too.
Yeah, she's super hot, so that counts.
Shall
we move on?
Yes, let's move on to Dumbell Moteru. Nope, Nan-Kilo Moteru. Episode 6, which is my episode of the week.
What?
Exactly.
That is shocking.
It is shocking.
It was a great episode.
Exactly. No, that's why. Because I'm like, you literally did everything that you were supposed to do. Like, this was easily the best episode of this entire series so far.
It was very meta. It was an extremely meta episode.
It was extremely meta. Very funny. Like,
well, starting from the top, we had the whole thing with them being introduced to the world of arm wrestling and the demonstration from Machio, which was just what's her name, Akemi and the teacher, but it was like just nothing to do with arm wrestling. It was just like them being super lewd and naked, like,
and I'm like, yes, here's the ecchi, like
wrestling on top of each other.
yeah, Akemi was quote unquote pinned on top of Sensei.
Yes, this is clearly arm wrestling.
Yeah. Yes, you do it naked. When Hibiki fights, what's her friend's name? The boxer.
I'm gonna look it up right now because we have the power of the internet in front of us.
Technology.
Her boxer friend's name is Ayaka.
Yeah, when she goes against Ayaka and just like pins her down, and everything becomes incredibly JoJo.
Yeah, it's like a JoJo Shonen style, and then what's her name? She gets stuck with that face.
Yes, and her teacher points out, she's like, "Hey, your face is still stuck," like that. And I'm just like, "Oh my god, how meta!" Like
it does do a lot of meta. See, that's why this episode was good. It did like a bunch of really dumb meta jokes, and it continued with the joke to the next half of the episode, where it was like set up like this battle tournament shonen arc, but then it was just one match, like one on one.
It was just one fight.
The tournament was just two people. And we get introduced to our brand new Xena Boyd.
Yes, Miss Boyd from Russia, and she literally just wants everyone to know. And they introduced her in like the best way. Like, this is one of the most funniest character introductions I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. Oh, the whole documentary style.
The documentary style interview where she's trying to explain arm wrestling, and then they just interjected random questions like, "Oh, what's your favorite food?" Like, wait, what's that doing anything?
Why do you like Japan?
Why do you like Japan?
I'm telling you about my technique.
She's like, wait, what? And then Hibiki interrupts and she's like, "How long is this interview going on?"
Yeah, that was great. So was the just like Xena as a character, like when she later shows up and she's just like, "Oh, these are the stereotypes you usually see of Russians in anime, right? Yeah. I'm gonna try to live up to all of these stereotypes."
Oh my god, it was so funny. He's like, "Oh," and they kept making fucking Putin references.
Oh yeah, Comrade Putin.
Comrade Putin. They just showed a picture of him like shirtless, holding
like the bear is like hugging him. I'm kind of like half wanting them there to be like an American character, because they just obviously went crazy with the whole Russian stuff, like the stereotype, like just like a cowboy girl shows up, like American Eagle, like just hanging on her shoulder or something. So Xena is like, I'm probably gonna end up being my favorite character. Hibiki's still my favorite, but Xena's probably gonna end up, because she's just so wacky and stupid.
Yeah, she was just very fun. Like, I think this anime just did such a good job at doing what it's supposed to do. There was literally not a time where I did not enjoy what was happening.
And even in the last part of the episode where they hit the pull-up instruction video or whatever, they even went over the top with that. They had like the little Russian dolls and this random bear mascot chilling out with Xena.
As she's explaining how to do the exercise.
See, this episode is, oh man, you're persuading me on thinking this episode is better than a lot of the other things. I see why it's your episode of the week. Yeah,
exactly. No, it was episode of the week because I didn't expect it to be this good. And it was just like, from beginning to end, I was just laughing.
Also had a great twist ending with she moved in with
she moved in and she's like, "I'm going home to my homestay, bye." And then she's just like, and Hibiki sees his shoes and she's like, "Oh no, no."
It was at this moment Hibiki knew she fucked up.
And then she just runs to like her room and opens the door and she sees her there and she's like, "Yeah, I knew there was gonna be some kind of twist." Like, literally being so meta the entire episode.
The episode itself was just a giant meta episode. I hope they continue that, like, just going forward.
Like, this is like one of the very few weeks where I would even say that Dumbell was even funnier than
Joushi Kousei.
Yeah, Joushi Kousei.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. You outdid yourself, Dumbell. You outdid yourself.
Good job.
Speaking of outdoing yourself, we had a rather weird episode of Lord El-Melloi, episode 6.
Which I also love. Like, this also was a contender.
Yeah, it was a fun episode, but it was weird because it really didn't have any waiver in it.
It didn't, but it was still so good. I'm not saying he makes them bad by any means.
Like, it was just, I like that it still managed to be good and like have this really mystery-esque vibe to it, even without waiver there. So it just shows the strength of the other characters. And we finally got an episode with a lot of Rhaenys in it, and Luvia.
So much
and Grey.
Exactly.
So I can't not love this episode.
Yeah, it was just very slice of lifey. Like, the majority of it. Like, they're just like basically Rain takes Gray out to go shopping. She's like, "Hey, tell me about the Holy Grail War with Waver." And she's like, "All right, cool. I will do it if I get to buy you a lot of clothes." I'm just like,
well, that sounds like a win-win
yeah,
to me.
right? Like, oh no, I get free clothes out of this. I just have to model them for you. Like, sure.
They could have went. I wish this was like a traditional, like anime, like FGO, like a traditional Fate Stay anime, because I feel like they would have went a little bit lewder with Gray, but they didn't. It was mostly wholesome Gray clothes.
Yeah, well, I'm a good person. I'm pure good
I'm not
man.
a good person, so I wanted to see someone with Gray. Thank you very much.
I'm a pure wholesome person, so I didn't need any of that. I thought she was cute enough. I love the outfit with her robe over her head.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think I'm just used to having something over your head. I think you look cute like that. Luvia was great in this episode. Yes. I really love that they're putting like a lot of Luvia in this.
This was Luvia's episode to shine in, and she outdid herself, especially at the end. The end was just perfect.
Yeah,
the fighting scene at the
end. Where first she's like on Mission Impossible, just like shooting like jumps everywhere, and then she starts doing wrestling moves, and there's like commentary from
the maid,
from the maid,
and I'm just like, there's no way. I love Rin, but there's no way Luvia loses to Rin in a fight.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. Oh, we're both out of mana. What should we do?
Even like Luvia is just like, I remember Rin just shooting her Gondor shots like a handgun. Luvia's over here with like a fucking machine gun.
Yeah, right. Machine gun fingers, like
shoot up Rin like 50,000 times. And then suplex her.
suplex her corpse.
My ultimate move. Flips you over. Yeah, Luvia was great, and it was just a fun episode, and seeing all the silliness of all the characters, and I feel like it was good because it looks like it's going to transition into that Rail Zeppelin arc, which is obviously going to be like the main serious arc of the show. So I'm glad we got this really lighthearted, fun episode beforehand.
Yeah, I agree. It was good. It was good timing, and yeah, good segue into the next
serious world. All right. Speaking of good segues, let's move on to Joushi Kousei no Mudazukai, episode 6. Another new character.
Miss Majo.
Mm-hmm.
She is a cute girl. First of all, while she is entertaining, I just had a huge fan of her sister. Her younger sister.
Her younger sister's kind of like really good too.
Yeah, because she's like really just wants her
older. They're good together. I like them together more than I like her interactions with anybody else, except maybe Loli, maybe.
Yeah, like oh my god, the whole movie scene was fantastic. I think that was like one of my favorite parts. Where just like you see the sister has a typical teenage reaction, like oh yeah, it's so cool, and then they're like, oh gosh, like this woman. And then what does Majo say? Majo's like, oh, why is he trying to take another guy's girl? Yeah. And doesn't he also have a girlfriend? And Lily's like, oh, I can't believe they're skipping school.
I relate hard to Lily and Majo, because that's literally how I feel every time I watch like Domestic Kanojo or anything that we watch as like a heavy drama. I'm just like, aren't these people assholes? Oh my god, this sucks. And then I'm also like Loli, where I'm just like, these guys are just breaking all kinds of rules, man. These are really bad people right now. And you're over here gushing like the sister.
Yeah, I'm definitely the well-adjusted sister in that scenario. Also, just want to make sure that you guys know, in Kuzuno Honkai, the main character, she actually gets very good grades.
She does, but she's still a bad person. Anyway, let's not open that can of worms.
I love. Another good team of Majo is the one with Yamai. Sorry.
Oh, the one where she's like in the lockers.
Cleaning. And then she's like, "Hey, so what are you all about?" And she's like, I love blood.
I love seeing organs pulsate.
Yes, blood. As much as possible. And then Yamai's like, oh, Yamai actually has like a very like, a very human like reaction to that. She's like, oh, I'm gonna be nice to you because I don't
want you to kill me.
I think that's what happened with like that one kid in high school. I mean, I wouldn't say we were nice to him, but we definitely weren't like shitting on him.
It's generally good not to antagonize people.
Yeah,
for your own safety.
Exactly, because after that one incident, do you remember?
I do not recall any of this happening.
When they peed on his coat.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah, that kid. And then he was like, we were convinced that he's gonna come to school next day with a gun.
I think I was like, I'm not coming to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm skipping school tomorrow.
I was like, Mom, I think I'm gonna die.
I'm not getting caught in nobody's crossfire.
I was, the entire next day, I was ready. Like, I was like, when I hear a gunshot, I'm,
every class, you have your escape plan.
Exactly.
How am I getting out of this classroom, right? Yeah, windows.
Exactly, and I think Yamai was thinking the same.
She's like, I need an escape plan from Madro.
Yeah, especially when she found the ladder game.
Yeah, the game.
Death ladder game.
How are you gonna die?
How are you gonna die?
That was also a great scene in the classroom where Baka's like, oh, beaten to death, and then Robo and Woda are like, do we have anything we could beat her to death with?
And he's like, And then Robo starts like rubbing the table to the desk. She's like, we could probably use this.
The edge of the desk is really blunt. We can beat the shit out of her.
He was just caressing it so gently. I'm just like, oh god. And then like at the end where they make their own like
revival, like a reincarnation game,
and each option is face might. Oh my god.
Robo low
Robo.
key is
she's such a savage.
She is low key savage.
I love her for it.
It was a good episode. I don't think it was like the strongest episode.
Yeah, definitely not.
I think Lily's episode last week was better.
Yeah.
And Lily I like more, but it was still like, even in this instance where it's like, this is not the strongest episode, you see how much we're laughing about it and like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because it's all the episodes have been good so far. Like,
exactly.
They're just all good.
Still a very good episode nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. So now we have a bit of something different, I think, right? We have to move on to a different show we're covering this week, and only this week, which I don't have a picture for, I'll insert it in post, is Fate Grand Order Babylon, episode 0.
So...
And I think we're going to have different opinions on this one, because this was my episode of the week. And there's like exploding.
Wow. I thought my episode of the week was shocking.
What? This is like a really... See, the reason this is my episode of the week is because it gives me faith that they're gonna handle the adaptation well.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm like, yeah. I get what you mean by that, and I agree. I'm just saying that doesn't make the episode any better.
It was a good episode.
It was a good episode, but it was like, it was one of those things where I'm just like, oh, I forgot to adjust my expectations of what this is. This is episode 00. This is not episode 1. So this is literally just set up.
It's prologuing. It's like,
let's build prologue,
up, which is like, all right. So you have the prologue, literally, what, 6-7 singularities that happened already before Babylon. And as far as that goes, I think it did a good job, like, of just setting up Mosh as a character. Like, if you've never walked into FGO before, you probably still won't have a good idea of what's going on, but at least you'll know who Mosh is and who Romani is and what's going on, with the servants. You would still have to have some, fate
but I'm definitely going, but I'm low-key, I don't know, is it wrong for me to assume that people who are going to watch this, almost the majority of them know of FGO or play FGO? Because it's FGO.
I'd say a good portion of them probably know about FGO.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like at least half.
At least half, yeah. But I did love the way that they set up Mosh.
Yeah.
Because we never really get much backstory on Mosh, even in the game. Like, we do, but it's not fleshed out. I did love that they show her interact her interactions with Romani and everything.
Yeah.
And they show Romani's backstory. I liked, even in the beginning, they were like, all right, we have to put action in this episode somehow so that people know we can handle the action scenes competently. And I think it did a good job of that in the beginning with Mosh doing her laser fucking flip show. Like, there's no way Mosh does any of this in the actual game.
Yeah, I was like, I wish you were just OP.
I know, right? So, it was, I think they did everything they needed to do. They showed that they can handle good animation, good fight scenes. They showed that they can handle actual deep character development. They did good music. It was like setting the tone was right. We got to see a little bit of each singularity at the end. I think it was just overall really well done. It gives me faith for the actual Babylon anime.
I don't know. There's a part of me that's selfish that I wanted to see more of just like a quick recap of like the singularities. I understand why they couldn't do that because I'm like, okay, they're not going to literally get every voice actor for every singularity because that's literally just going to be too much. It's like I get it, I do. It would, the selfish person in me would have loved that.
I'm sad we're not getting a lot of these singularities because they just looked really interesting. Like,
exactly, like at the end, I think everyone.
Okeanis would have been a great singularity if we got that. Like, they should have Drake and everything. Drake got as much screen time in this episode as she got in all of Fate Extra's anime. So
literally.
Drake looked really cool. I really liked the way America looked. Like, Geronimo looked really cool. All the character designs were cool. They had Edison there. Helena was there.
I love the way Jinkei
Nightingale.
looked.
If we got another singularity, I want it to be America because it looked really, really good.
I feel like they're not going to go backwards, but
maybe not.
If they did, I would not be mad at that.
But I do wish we did get an America chapter. Probably not because they did a lot of. Another thing this episode did a lot of was like not foreshadowed references. They did like a lot of references. They did. They showed the cryptors from Lost Belt in the very beginning, like on screen, and they were on like a meeting and stuff. So they showed all the Lost Belt characters. Then they also showed when Mosh was reading, she had those books that were done by Anderson. Mm-hmm. They were watching a movie about Sherlock Holmes. So there was like a lot of just like fun little Easter eggs for fans to catch, which was awesome.
Yeah. Like, that's why, I mean, I think that's why I'm just like mad about this episode, because I'm just like, I feel like it did its job, which was, it teased me. Like, it was, I feel like it was just like, it was a prologue, but it was also like a tease.
Let's put it this way. Have you not seen Fate Apocrypha and Last Encore?
What do you mean?
Have you seen Fate Apocrypha and Last Encore?
Of course I have.
So, at the bare minimum, knowing that this show can do its job is enough for me to make an episode of the week. Because I was afraid this was going to be Last Encore or Fate Apocrypha.
Oh, I knew it was going to be.
Oh, you don't. Just like you knew Last Encore wasn't going to be Last Encore.
No, but these are the people who did. Then they do, like, this isn't the first FGO thing, aren't they? Is this the same company who did the last one? Because it looks very similar.
To what, the OVA from like years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know if they did the OVA. Did they?
All I know is I feel like FGO already like had its own direction. So I already had.
All of this was also mostly original stuff. Like, none of this was like a recap from like the ending part was, but like the fight with Mosh and all that stuff. That stuff wasn't from FGO. So that part also makes me good that they're putting some new stuff in there, and they're not just like ripping the actual script from the Singularity and putting it in the
but my point is, like, I feel like FGO already had like its own, like, they already had the, how you say, the structure already there, like, of what
I don't put anything past people fucking it up, so I'm happy that this came out well. If the rest of the season is as good as this episode was, I'm going to be ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it.
So let's move on to Carole and Tuesday episode 16. I'm surprised this wasn't your episode of the week, to be honest.
I mean, it wasn't bad by any means. Like, it was a good episode. It wasn't anything like crazy about. Like, it wasn't last week. Sorry.
Really? I think this was way better than last week's episode.
What?
It was way more emotional for me than the last week's episode. First off, this was Whitney Houston, so I'm surprised you prefer the other one.
Yeah, but I think that's
some Whitney
why,
fan you are.
I think that's why I wasn't like too blown away. I'm like this already happened. You're just retelling something based off something that already happened.
Wow.
Like, I already saw this happen in real life, and you can't. I'm sorry, you just cannot.
What is with you and these hot takes today? I feel like you're really hard to please all of a sudden.
You can't just replicate like a Whitney Houston story verbatim and be like, "Wow, we did an anime episode."
It was really good.
I'm not saying it was bad. It was good.
I liked it because it fleshed out Gus's past, so now we know why he was the way he is. Also, it gave us insight to why.
That's like the one thing I really loved about this episode. It was like it really shows like the kind of person like Gus is.
It also explains why he didn't want to sign the contract with the music label because he's like, I ain't doing this shit again.
Yeah,
I'm having Carole Tuesday end up like Whitney. Or Flora, as she is known in this world.
Flora. She is not known as Whitney in any other world. But yeah, like, I kind of... First of all, this isn't... No, it is basically the story of Whitney.
It's literally like almost verbatim story of Whitney Houston.
I mean...
Like, even Flora looked pretty much, very much
yeah,
like Whitney.
she literally did like Whitney Houston. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, I feel like it was a good storyline. The songs were good. The feels were there. The story was there. It was good, but I think just last week was just... I don't know, maybe for me last week was like too close to the best. At least it felt so original, and I feel like someone's going to be like, "Hey, that story with that guy is that was
David Bowie's story." Pretty much.
Yeah.
With some creative liberties.
No, like very huge. I don't remember David Bowie turning into a giant recluse and like literally like being stuck between, like being hit by radiation, being stuck between two genders. Do you see how
But David Bowie was already androgynous anyway, so it's like they just gave another alternate reason for. Anyway, the point is, I like this episode because it, for me, what sold it was seeing her at the concert and then like hearing her like try to sing the song again and like crying. Like that hit me emotionally. It hit me more. Like last week's episode hit me emotionally too, but I think that one scene hit me more emotionally than anything last week. So for me, plus the music was so much better this episode.
Yeah,
like Day by Day was really good.
Day by Day, I told him Day by Day is probably going to be like top 3 minimum for like the rest of the series.
I liked it because it was such a different style for them too.
I love anything with a good groove in it, like anything that's like groovy or funky with some soul in it. I love it, like almost automatically. So that was like an insta win for me.
So Day by Day was really top tier song from them. Also, I think even better was the Give You the World song, because it had a very nice soul R&B vibe to it, which I really love. Like that feels like something that would be sung in the 60s, 70s by someone like Whitney Houston. So
Whitney Houston was not in the 60s or 70s.
Whatever, 80s.
Oh yeah.
Listen, you're the Whitney Houston fan.
I am the Whitney.
I'm surprised you are so like on this episode of like basically almost a 30-minute biography of Whitney Houston through the eyes of an anime.
Except no tea, no shade to this episode, but Whitney's story was actually way more intricate. Like more things happen in Whitney Houston's actual
20
story.
minutes.
This is literally Whitney Houston light.
They have 20 minutes
There's
to do
so
a
much
story.
more about Whitney Houston.
They have 20 minutes to do an episode about this Whitney Houston character.
Okay, but
they have to mix it in with Carole Tuesday's plot.
I know, and I'm not, like I said, it's not a bad episode. I liked it. It was good. But do you understand? Someone who is a fan of Whitney and knows all about Whitney, like it kind of feels like when you say that, oh, this is basically Whitney Houston, I'm just like, this is like the skeleton of, like, this is like a very simple. Also, she's not the only celebrity to like. I guess this is the Britney Spears story. Like
Britney Spears wasn't black.
Okay, and that's the only difference. But she was a famous woman who eventually cracked under pressure and eventually had a breakdown, and like drugs and alcohol happened. Like ta-da! Like I can say that.
I realize that when you have any kind of expectations for anything, you become like immensely impossible to please.
I'm not impossible to please. I'm just telling you why I don't think this episode, for me, was not as good as the last episode, because it was just like, it was good, but like, I don't know, saying it's like a Whitney Houston story, Whitney Houston story.
Literally the Whitney Houston. It just is Whitney Houston story. Like, yes, this is not the VH1 7-hour documentary on Whitney Houston, but it's as close as you're going to get to a tribute to Whitney Houston in Carole Tuesday or in anime in general. Unless they make a whole anime about Whitney Houston, which they won't.
God,
this is the closest and best thing you'll probably get. Also, it occurs to me that there's so many songs in this anime. It must be insane that they had to record all these, like compose and record all these songs for sure.
Oh, I feel like,
because these are all original songs. They're not.
Well, I feel like they just asked like random people to be like, hey, all of y'all, make a song. Come in, record it. Thanks. Like,
but even then, how many songs do we have in the series? At least 20, because some episodes have 2 songs or more.
20? No, it's not that much.
It's at least 20 songs. You figure we have 4 just between the opening and endings. Then there's certain episodes that have 2 or more songs in them that are brand new. The whole saga of Mars Brightest had like 2 or 3 songs each episode that were new.
Are we counting?
Yes, we're counting all the songs in the show. We're counting what's his name that looked like Justin Bieber songs.
Are you talking about even Holy Shit Motherfucker?
Holy Shit Motherfucker. All of them. There's at least 20 songs at the bare minimum.
Okay, well, I'm in no mood for counting, so I will take your word for it.
I'm just saying it's impressive that they got all that done for an anime.
I agree. I actually haven't like heard of a musical anime where they do so many original songs. It's usually like they'll work on 1 or 2 songs
and then they'll repeat the same song over.
Like, we're working on the same song, and then like episode 7, we're finally doing our song. Yeah. And then let's reprise the song for 2 more episodes.
Which they kind of do with Loneliest Girl, but even then they have like 17 other songs besides Loneliest Girl between Carole.
Exactly.
So. But so excellent job there.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. This is the closest thing I would say to a musical anime. Well, there's Beck, but
it is a musical.
But I mean, like making it. If I were to make an anime into a musical, like a Broadway musical.
Oh, into a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's musical anime like Beck. Like there's anime about music, but I feel like this is actually the closest thing to a musical that would actually be on Broadway or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I'd pay for those tickets.
I would. So let's move on to our final show of the week, which is Fruits Basket, episode 19.
So, a new beautiful boy appears by the name of Richan.
Yes.
Yes, more and more traps for you quote-unquote straight men. Well, this episode was... Well, I did enjoy this episode. This episode was interesting.
It was weird. There was a lot of screaming. It was so much screaming.
Very yelly episode.
I feel like everyone recording in the studio was just screaming their lines constantly. Oh, I'm sorry! Sensei! Just must have been really taxing on the throat.
Yeah. Oh my god. I like that. Now, usually, what I like about Richan is that usually there are characters who are, like, super apologetic. And, like, their reasons are kind of, like, flimsy. They just need that character so they can have that, like, character development to make them less of, like, a pushover. Mm-hmm. But, like, his, like, you can actually see why, and it, like, makes sense with him. Like, this is actually, like, I feel like it's a valid reason. Like, he constantly, like, will be super clumsy and fuck shit up for people.
Him, first off, my new favorite character of the show is the editor or Shigeru's editor because her just like killing herself, like putting up the news.
Putting up the news. He's just like, what are you doing?
But even more importantly, when Richan like throws up his hands and knocks the coffee all over the manuscript, and she's like trying to scrub it.
Yeah. She's like, oh my god, and yelled, you're like, oh!
trying to get her like all the coffee with her sleeve, and she just faints. Like, she's a fun character, and she actually got her episode to shine.
And Richan also is like, well, I can do you one better. I'm going to throw myself off the roof.
And is also host of the weirdest ship of all time between those two.
Yeah, like Richan and what's her face?
It's like Mitsu. Yeah. Yeah, they got hardcore shipped for some reason.
Yeah, so for all of you Fuda fans, this is right up your alley.
It's not even Fuda.
It's not Fuda, but you guys will like it regardless?
I guess so.
Yeah, like that's...
Like, I mean,
I feel like you guys
if there was like
Sofo,
there was like a doujin that popped up with... But it's weird, because it'd be trap on female. I don't know.
I don't know, do you watch any like trap?
Traps are traps. I watch traps regardless.
Like, do you watch... Oh, so you watch them with, like, dudes and with girls?
Traps are traps. Watch them regardless.
Why are you asking the question?
Traps are traps. Regardless.
Guys, do you watch traps with guys or girls or both?
The answer is both.
Okay.
The correct answer is a trap is a trap.
Okay, I was just curious.
But, so, if you're into that, there you go. There's another thing you can... spend your night looking up.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we had a very minimal screen time from Kyo and Yuki. I feel like they haven't had screen time in a while.
Mitsu just...
Did they have screen time last? Well, I guess Yuki had some screen time last episode.
Yeah.
I just feel like I rarely see Kyo anymore. Like, Kyo has not been a factor for a minute.
I know, it's making me very upset.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just realized this show definitely like emphasized what an asshole Shigure is.
It does.
Like, usually it shows him kind of being like manipulative for like kind of the greater good in his way, kind of. No, but in this episode, he was just being a dick. He was just playing with Mitsu's
making his editor suicidal for no reason.
Like, she was like writing her will for her mother and father. Fine.
Shape up, Shigure. Stop being an asshole for no reason.
Or keep doing it. I enjoy it. He's funny. I think he might be like my number 3 behind Kyo and
Haru.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for me too. Toru also had a few lines. I feel like it's hard to believe this is episode 19 and we're going into 20 because we just got introduced to a new character. So I really am curious how this is going to...
I mean, I'm not super surprised, because there's literally 12 of them. That's a lot.
It is.
Even if you meet 3 of them in, like, the first episode, that's still a lot. There's still 9 more characters.
1 billion more characters.
Right?
But yeah, no, it was a good episode. Nothing too amazing, but it wasn't... At least it wasn't as, like, depressing as last week's episode. So... points there for being different.
Yep.
I think that about wraps it up. We've covered so many shows this week, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you can catch all of the episodes as they go up. Also, if you haven't already joined the party over on our Discord, follow us on Twitch and follow us on Twitter. And you can also go that extra mile and become a patron, like these lovely patrons on screen right now who make the show possible. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, episode 0 of Babylonia. It's only gonna get better than that, so by all means, please watch it if you haven't considered.
Yes, do watch it if you haven't seen it yet. It's very, very good. And it'll get you hyped for Babylon starting next season, which of course we'll be covering. So look forward to that from us as well. Until then, this has been Sobroni and
Doobie-doo.
We'll catch you next week. Later.
Bye.